Join me as we ride Amtrak's famous California Zephyr between Denver and... Where's the video I recorded? Oh no. Good morning. Welcome to Denver. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Ralph. I run this channel. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching today's video. Today, we were supposed to take Amtrak train number 5, the westbound California Zephyr. This train runs daily between Chicago and Emeryville, California, a suburb of San Francisco. We were going to take the train today on the most scenic parts of the line from Denver to Emeryville, a suburb of San Francisco. Unfortunately, last night, we received an email from Amtrak that due to the weather in the San Francisco area, our train would terminate at Salt Lake City. We were given two options. Our options were either to A, cancel the reservation in total, or B, take the train as far as Salt Lake City. Now I thought, being as I've always wanted to take this train, I thought option A would be the best option, and to just take the full refund, come back and try it again. So today, with the train being canceled and us not being able to fly out till Saturday, I figured, what could we do? Well, today, we're going to be taking a ride down to Canyon City, Colorado, just south of Colorado Springs, and riding the Royal Gorge Scenic Railway in the Vista Dome class. Come along for the ride. Well, welcome to Canyon City. Not the station we expected to be starting today's video from, but hey, at least it's something to do. This afternoon, we will be taking a ride on the Royal Gorge Route Railroad from Canyon City to Parkdale through the Royal Gorge Canyon. Our train departs this afternoon from the original Denver and Rio Grande Western Depot here in Canyon City. We are seated in the luxury dome car this afternoon. Let's climb aboard and depart. After a hearty lunch, we come out into the observation car and are greeted by the main highlight of the trip, the Royal Gorge Bridge. I'll explain more about the bridge later. We are also following next to the Arkansas River. Let's take a look at a dome car. Since our car was sold out and there was another dome car that was identical to ours, we'll take a walk through that. Each dome car has booths on the upper level to seat 4 passengers per booth. If you have a group of 1, 2, or 3, you will most likely be seated with another person, but that's just part of the fun of rail travel. Unlike most domes, this car is a full-length dome car with end-to-end windows and stairs on both ends. Back outside, we've reached the end of the line. Now it's time for the best part. Since the siding at the end of the line in Parkdale is too long, our train will be pushed back to Canyon City. I moved to the rear car of the train. This will make for some excellent rail fan window opportunities. Here's a brief history of this line. The line was originally founded by the Denver and Rio Grande Western in 1880. In 1882, the Royal Gorge Route became part of the Transcontinental Railroad between Denver and the West. The first rails were laid, like most Denver and Rio Grande Western routes, in narrow gauge form, 36 inches between the rails. Later it was up to standard gauge, 4 feet 8.5 inches between the rails to facilitate the freight movement. The last DRG&W passenger train passed through the Royal Gorge on July 26, 1967. In the late 1990s, the state of Colorado purchased the 12 miles we now call the Royal Gorge Route Scenic Railway, and the Royal Gorge Route Railway leased the rights to the line. Now that we're approaching the canyon, we can now see the main highlight of the trip, the Royal Gorge Bridge. I figured now would be a good time to share a brief history of the bridge. The bridge began construction in June of 1929 and was completed by November of that same year. Back then, the bridge cost $350,000 to construct. The bridge is only a tourist attraction, however. No cars are able to pass over the bridge. There is a cost of $30 to cross the bridge, which we did not have time to do on this trip. There is also a zip line that you can go across the bridge as well, which was not open when we visited. The bridge maintained the title of the world's highest suspension bridge from its opening until 2003, when a bridge in China that was built was longer. As we approach the station, our trip is coming to an end. I hope you'll join us as we're back in the air, flying on my first wide body. We'll take a trip with United on the Boeing 777-200 from Denver to Chicago O'Hare to wrap up this Colorado series. Join us next week for that video. But before we leave, let's take a look at the motive power on our train today. Powering our train up front is a GP40 diesel locomotive. I thought before we ended today's video, it would only be right to go to the top of Pikes Peak and view where we just traveled from. As we get to the top, we are greeted by an original DRG&W K36 narrow gauge steam locomotive. While not powering trains through here, you can still ride these trains on two railroads in Colorado, the Durango and Silverton and Cumbres and Toltec Scenic Railroads, both in southern Colorado. That does it for this week's video. Thank you so much for watching. God bless and see you next time.